And we are live.
They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho,
they're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
still got it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Stars in the House. I'm in New York, and Seth is in Connecticut. And Seth, Bagel, because I know you're watching, Bagel's getting comfortable. There's like some loud party behind us, so the door is closed because you wouldn't be able to hear me. But look what I did. I can't believe after all these years, when we've done it here at the table, we didn't just have the dog bed. But wait, look what Winnie's doing. Winnie, hold on. I'm going to bring on Seth. Seth, did you see that?
Oh, I saw it. I asked Bill Berloni what's going on.
I was going to say, you're with the perfect person to help us, Seth.
I showed him this picture.
Yes.
That's my wallet.
Yes.
And he was like, "Oh, Winnie wants your scent when you're gone." I said, "Well, I was actually in the house when she did it." And he was like, "Oh, well, she likes leather." And I said, "Well, I'm vegetarian. It's actually vegan." And then it was just silent.
That did not happen, that conversation. You did not tell me that.
It just happened a minute ago. So that happened, as the Cujo says. And then it was just sort of, I mean, basically, she's a puppy. I think she's bored. And it's like, I think we have to do the dog run like 3 times a day.
I know. I
She's a puppy.
Today, listen, I have a confession. Today, I should have taken her to the dog run. This is one of those days. It's been a long week, and I'm exhausted. So, but, and I couldn't resist the fact that taking a nap in bed, because I got up early this morning to go to our storage unit, as you know, but our viewers don't know. And I couldn't resist because Winnie and Romeo and Bagel were all in bed. It's just like, that's just, there's nothing. You can't beat that. So that's what I've been doing.
They love to snuggle.
What did you say, Seth?
They love to snuggle. They're the best snugglers.
They love to snuggles. Hey, so you're in Connecticut. You're at Goodspeed Opera House. I've actually never been to Goodspeed Opera House, but you sent me a picture earlier. It's really beautiful there.
Well, we're not actually at Goodspeed Opera House, which I thought we were going to. By the way, I've never been there either. We're at this really beautiful place called like Smith Family Family Farm Gardens. Smith Farm Gardens.
But it's it's in the area though, right?
Oh, yeah, basically, yeah. I'm actually getting Lyme disease as we speak. So it's in the exact same area. But it's really beautiful. And they're renting the outdoor space to everybody.
Oh.
It's anyway, Goodspeed, it's a beautiful neighborhood.
I see. So before I was bringing you on, I was actually going to talk about, my new favorite show, which is Redwood, which is closing on Sunday.
Yes.
And closing way too soon. When do I see shows twice? That almost never happens.
I guess disaster.
That's right, disaster. And Chicago, when I first moved to New York in 1998, which, Seth, when you did your Pippin Sits Probe 2 weeks ago, yes. And I was sitting next to Charlotte D'Amboise. Oh, you froze. Did I lose you? You can hear me?
I can hear you.
And I was sitting next to Charlotte, and Charlotte, she said, "What are you doing this summer?" And I told her about our cruise in August, and that we're going to Portugal in July for Music Theater Lisbon. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "She's going back into Chicago." It's like, I want to know, maybe, do you know, is there any actress or actor, maybe Yul Brynner and Carol Channing, but besides those two, is there any actor in the history of musical theater that has gone into the same running musical on Broadway for that long period of time? I mean, it's incredible.
Well, Carol Channing came back and did another production, so it's not really the same thing. And same thing with Yul Brenner. This is an anomaly, a show that's running that long. There are not that many shows like it. And George Lee Andrews did a really long run in Phantom of the Opera. He never left and came back, but I don't think it was as long as Charlotte because it's 2025, and you first saw her in what year?
I moved to New York in 1998.
Yeah. I don't think anyone else has been in and out of a show. Yeah, she may be the only one. Brava.
There should be a special Tony Award for her with the Tonys coming up soon. It's incredible.
And by the way, same size costume.
I was going to make a comment like that. Absolutely. Anyway, so besides Chicago, which I saw many times with Charlotte, and because I'm going to London in a week with one of our favorite Brits, Ruthie Henshaw. But I saw Redwood, and they did a talk back Thursday night with I haven't looked it up yet, Seth, but Dr. Chelsea Clinton. I don't know what she got her doctorate in. But they had a panel about fentanyl because in the show, Adina plays a mom whose son has died of a fentanyl overdose. And they had these kits at the Nederlander where Disaster played, and they had these kits that they were giving out after the show. Maybe there are Broadway shows where this has happened, but Eva Price is the lead producer of it, and I saw her there, and I just think it's a remarkable thing. In this kit, it's something that every person should have, and that is Narcan. And if you live in a city like New York or a place where there's public transportation, you should have it in your car. You should have it in your backpack if you go on the subway, because it really is miraculous and can save a person's life in seconds.
Why? What is it? Tell me what it is.
Narcan is something that is it's almost like Flonase if you have allergies, and you literally put it inside the victim's nostril, and you push it. It's in a package, and you press the red button, and it literally saves her life.
Why? But from what?
From fentanyl overdose.
Oh, you're right.
And in
so
the
you
kid,
have to know the person's contact though.
Well, if they're passed out and I don't think it hurts the person. That would be a doctor question, or I'm sure a person can look it up. If someone faints because of the heat, I don't think it's going to hurt you. But they also had fentanyl strips because there are a lot of drugs that are laced with fentanyl, and the person doesn't know it's with fentanyl. I will say, since we're talking about this is so maybe completely inappropriate, but because you led the show with a certain dog of ours who's down here, because I did read a while back that everyone should have carry Narcan with them. I actually asked Dr. Kent. We see Dr. Kent at the Friedman Health Center, part of the Entertainment Community Fund, and I'd gotten a prescription for this to have, and I do my best to carry it with me whenever I'm on the subway. And a certain dog of ours, Seth, actually opened it. She had climbed on the table, and it was open. So
she wants your scent.
Seth, you can't make fun of the person that's about to be honored.
Oh, he's a wonderful, wonderful dog trainer. Wait, she just looked it up. It says Narcan works by blocking the effects of opiates in the brain and by restoring breathing. Narcan, I guess, will only work if a person has opiates in their system. Well, that's good to know.
Oh, thanks for putting that up. Well, the reason why I bring up about Winnie is because, of course, I wasn't going to care. She didn't break into the medicine, but she had broken into the seal. And so because I knew that I wasn't going to carry around an open container of it, I actually did push it because I thought, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, see what it's like.
And try it out. And it really is. Flonase or Afrin is a really good example. It really is that simple to do. So no one should.
You mean it's a mist?
What's
like a mist?
It is like a mist. 100%. It's like a mist. So no one should be intimidated to get it. No one. really no one should be embarrassed to ask their doctor for it. It doesn't mean, oh, if you're embarrassed that, oh, a doctor's going to think you or a family member or a friend has that sort of problem. I think really it's part of being a good citizen these days. You know, when you hear that 110,000 people, it's literally fentanyl overdoses are the leading cause of death for ages 18 to 44 in the United States.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't
I
know
mean,
that.
it's so all of us should really, you know, if we can do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Seth, you know, Goodspeed, a lot of musicals came from there. I know Shenandoah did, Man of La Mancha did, and of course, one of your favorites, and the reason why Bill Berloni became a dog trainer and among many other animals to Broadway was because of Annie. Um, uh, anything you
Oh, it
want to
just
share?
froze.
I froze. Well,
Yeah, is it? This Wi-Fi stinks.
I think your Wi-Fi stinks a little bit. It's been kind of remarkable that it's been doing so well, quite frankly.
Is it different Wi-Fi I could be on? Should I try to get on a different Wi-Fi and then?
Sure, try to go on a different Wi-Fi. While you're going on
Yeah.
a different Wi-Fi, I'll explain the run of show here, okay? So you can go
James,
off.
can you actually text Jacob and ask him for the Wi-Fi? Because he's the one that
Sure.
had it. Thanks. It's good if
David
I
is in
chat.
Hartford. And hold on. Let's see. I'm going to ask, what is the Wi-Fi code? So you're going to do everything you can. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You're doing everything you can to make me wear my broken glasses. You know that's what you're doing, right? I can't find my glasses.
I didn't know your eyesight's that bad.
And we talked right before, and basically you were saying, you were begging me not to wear them on camera. And then what's the next thing I know, you're asking me to text on my phone Jacob for Wi-Fi, and now I'm gonna have to do this. It's not fair. Are you there? I can't tell.
I'm frozen in this position.
Anyway, tonight
somebody from Sydney. Look at that, Jimmy.
Aw, that's so nice. Talk about I haven't been to Goodspeed or Australia. You have. I haven't. Uh-oh, Bagel's had it.
Oh, no.
Bagel. Bagel, be a good boy. So, Seth,
I'll keep talking until I get the new Wi-Fi.
Yeah, sure. So, you're there because it's the fundraiser for Goodspeed. And if you would like, you can go to starsinthehouse.com.
Oh, wait, maybe it's over there. Do you know the AV Wi-Fi here?
I'm going to take Seth off for a second. If you would like to donate to Goodspeed in honor of Bill Berloni, you can go to starsinthehouse.com, and then you can forward your receipt, because I didn't tell Diane Kelber, for those of you who are regular viewers. So instead, forward your receipt and message to starsinthehouse2020@gmail. Okay, if any of you listen to Seth on SiriusXM, you'll know that this little bad boy does that quite a bit. I'm hoping that Seth will be able to come on so that he can take over while I give Bagel. Seth, can you talk a little bit about?
So I'll talk about what's up here. Sure. Okay, you can go. Hi, everyone. So I'm at the Goodspeed Opera House. So this is the story that I just told to everybody, which I thought was going to be filmed, but it wasn't. So I'll tell you guys. So back in 1976, Annie was being created up here by Martin Charnin, who wrote the lyrics. Tom Mina wrote the book. Both have passed away. And Charles Strauss wrote the music, who just passed away a couple of days ago, sadly. So because they were going to do it like really the Annie comic strip, they wanted to have an actual dog. So they went to Bill Berloni, who was 19 years old, and he was an actor then. He was an intern. And they said, we'll give you your equity card if you can train a doggie to be Sandy. And he wasn't a dog trainer. He was just an intern doing anything. But he was like, okay. He grew up with dogs, and he wanted his equity card. So he went to the local shelter, and he saw a dog that looked just like Sandy in the comic strip. And he said, can I have that doggie? I want to train him. And they said, that dog is $3. And it was 1976, and $3 was like $3,000. So Bill was like, oh my God, I don't have that kind of money. And unfortunately, because people buy dogs and they don't adopt, shelters are overcrowded, and they were planning on basically killing the dog the very next morning. They said this is his last night. We're killing him tomorrow. The shelter's overcrowded. So Bill freaked out. He went back to Goodspeed. He went to his roommate and said, "Can I borrow $3?" And then he showed up at the shelter the next morning at like 7 a.m. He was so scared he was going to be late after they opened and that it would be too late. But he was able to pay the $3. He got Sandy and he trained this dog. And he had no experience training. But like I said, he grew up with dogs and he first of all bonded the dog with Andrew McCardle, who was playing Annie, and did little tricks like food in Andrea's pocket. And the dog became trained. And then the show transferred to Broadway. The same dog that he rescued was the Sandy that we've all seen and at the Tony Awards and everything. That was that dog that was about to be killed. That was the Sandy. And ever since then, Bill has been called upon to train animals. So any animal you've seen on Broadway since 1977 has been trained by Bill Berloni, and they've always been rescues. He only rescues the animals. And there we are. And the amazing part, hi, honey. The amazing part of the story also, just for me, which I love, he has a farm. And whenever the show closes, if no one will adopt the dogs, like let's say Legally Blonde or Thay adopted at least one of those doggies. But if no one will adopt the dogs after the show closes, he brings those dogs back to his farm. Some 69, all hoping that one. He wants to make the doggie feel at home and hear his music or her music in the background. So anyway, he's done TV, film, everything, but it's all because it began here at the Goodspeed Opera House.
And on that,
but I'm trying to block the sun. That's why I'm looking weird, by the way.
oh, it doesn't look weird. This was a good segue, Seth, because the password. You know what the password is?
Oh no, I already got logged on. But what is it, Bill Berloni?
Literally, good old Sandy.
Good old Sandy.
Exactly.
Andrea's line.
I tell you who we're not going to say that about. Good old Bagel. He's a bad boy.
They're both nightmares.
He's a bad boy. So Seth, it's because we did our game night a week ago, and as we always say, it's always amazing, for better or for worse, what can happen in a week. And weird coincidence of life, sadly, Charles Strauss passed away, composer of Annie, amongst many other musicals. Did you talk about Charles Strauss at all while I was getting something for Bagel?
Wait, did I talk about Charles Strauss? Oh,
well, hold on. I know, no.
Did I talk about Charles Strauss at the game night? Wasn't it?
No. I meant while I was literally gone for these few minutes. You were talking about Goodspeed, right?
I was talking about Bill Berloni training doggies, but Charles Strauss, he was born in 1928, which is incredible. And if people don't know, first musical he wrote was Bye Bye Birdie, and then It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman, and then Annie, and one of my favorite shows, and Applause also, and Rags, which to me was his best score ever. But I was just researching the times I interviewed Charles Strauss and finding all these fun stories. And at one point, I guess I could say, I'm sure everyone knows, Teresa Stratas was definitely kind of an opera diva in her own way. And he was demonstrating a song for Teresa Stratas in Rags. And he started playing it. And he said, well, this is the key that I wrote in it for my voice. I'll put it into your key. And she said, no. It must be in that key for a reason. He said, no, I put it into that key because it's for my voice. She was like, I demonstrated, but let me put it into your key. She said, no, there must have been an inner meaning for why you wanted that key. And he's like, no. Anyway, she wound up getting angry and angry, and ended with her throwing a chair.
You cut out after chair at, but I think it was right on the punchline. But I think we got, except actually threw the chair at what? At him, at the wall, at the floor, at the stage.
No, I think at him.
Literally at him.
Yeah, because she was furious that he wouldn't honor his own artistic integrity. Natch, wow. You're frozen. I'm frozen. Wonderful.
No, so we're hoping, or I'm hoping that we can get some friends together and next week on Stars in the House he had so many songs.
I'm being called to the stage.
From what, Seth?
I'm being called to the stage.
Okay. And one of the people I didn't even tell that one of the I missed him. Hold on.
Well,
did I lose you? Or he's being called to the stage. Anyway, I can say this without Seth. He mentioned all those shows, but he also wrote the theme to All in the Family. So I want to ask, I haven't asked her yet, Kate Lear, if you're watching, or John LaPook, would you be available this week? Because I'd love to know why Norman Lear chose Charles Strauss to write the theme for All in the Family. It's such an iconic theme song. Anyway, so hopefully we're really planning on doing that this coming week here at our apartment. Winnie, hold on. Let me think, Winnie, Bill Berloni needs to train you. So here's the deal. The show from Goodspeed, or near Goodspeed, for Goodspeed, was supposed to begin at 7, but as we all know, for most fundraisers, they're usually like 30 minutes behind, or close to it. And this is no exception. So this time that I just spent talking with Seth was actually supposed to happen from 7:30 to 8. And the show itself, I was going to do a quick intro, and we were going to go right to what you're about to see and the reason why Seth got called to the stage. Instead, we just did that. So from probably around 8 to 8:30 is going to be basically you just having an insider view of the paddle raise, I think that's what they call it, that they just did the auction. They had a little bit of entertainment, and I'm going to show you that that song right now. And then, so it's going to be just kind of a hodgepodge, but I think you're going to really enjoy it. If you get bored during the paddle raise, don't tune out, because it's either going to be who I'm about to show you the song from is Christine Petty, who already sang, but I asked them if they would record it. So they did, and got uploaded. Hey, Seth. I was just explaining what is about to happen. I'm about to show the Christine Petty video. Are you about to go on?
Yeah, I'm about to go on. So maybe switch to the other thingy.
Okay, so then I will switch to the other thingy, and I'll show that video later. So here you go, and enjoy. It's Kate Rockwell, Lilius White, and Christine Petty, and Seth Rudetsky. Here we go.
That's your cue, everyone. We are moving on with the show. Hi, everyone. I'm back. We are about to honor Bill Berloni. And I know, but, well, not this second, but about to. Is someone's contact lens falling out? Okay, so everybody, eyes to the stage. And we're going to show a video, congratulations video, from many people who want to congratulate Bill Berloni, but couldn't actually be here tonight. So take a gander at the video screen. Hit it.
This is where you may not see the video, but you're going to listen.
18-year-old intern by the name of Bill Berloni, and said, here's $25. Go to the Newington Pound and get a dog. Well, what kind of dog? Any dog, just a mutt. And Billy came back with the first Sandy. At the end of the season, he said, what are you going to do with the dog? I said, take it home, Billy. Billy, we cherish you as a person of great empathy for animals, of great feeling for the theater, of a talent that is so well honed and so well respected. We wish you best in all you do. And tonight, we celebrate you as one of our own who's done remarkably well.
I am now a proud dog owner of 2 wonderful pups, Mabel and Brody, both of which Bill and Dorothy found for me. I'm so thrilled that Goodspeed is honoring Bill tonight with so much. Mwah.
Integrity and kindness and joy, and it's an inspiration. So thank you for the beautiful moments that you've helped create and the pause that you've placed in the spotlight. And here's to this honor and to many more. Sending you all my love. All the best.
Congratulations on 50 years, buddy. So proud to know you and to have worked with you on Annie and, of course, on A Christmas Story. with those magnificent, slobbery, wonderful bloodhounds, Pete and Lily, who will always be such a special part of my life, as will you. And I hope I'm lucky enough to get to have more Bill Berloni adventures. Thank you also for this guy right here. I can't imagine life without him.
You have touched so many lives, and you have saved so many lives. And we in the Broadway community love you so very much. Congratulations.
Bill, congratulations. What an incredible honor. Okay, Tana, yes, Tana's sending you kisses. But Bill, I've been with you for 25 years, so there's some Annie up there, the very first, to Tana June, our most recent furry star. Congratulations. We miss you. Wish we were there to celebrate you.
Congratulations, Bill, on 50 years in the business. I truly have never met anyone who is more dedicated, passionate about the work that they do. I'm just so honored that I've gotten to be a small part of it. You have truly been there for me through it all, and I cannot thank you enough. Every day should be a day to celebrate you, but this day is specifically special, so I just want to thank you for the work that you've done for me, but for so many other people out there. Congratulations!
Legally Blonde never would have been the success it was without Bill's help. He was instrumental in creating a major character in the show, Bruiser Woods. But he's also made my family great, sitting here in my lap. Shady, thanks, Bill. Thanks for everything.
I know I can speak on behalf of my father, Martin Charnan. He loved you very much and was always so proud of you and all you accomplished. And of course, your undeniable paw print on the Annie legacy.
I'd like to say a few words about Bill Berloni. Nobody in the theater would think to put an animal on the stage without checking with Bill. Bill was the greatest animal trainer and a wonderful man. So congratulations, Bill. And the same to you, Dorothy.
Congratulations, Bill, on an extraordinary and inspiring career. No one deserves this celebration more than you. Your exceptional talent, compassion, and dedication to working with rescues have set the gold standard in the industry. What you do, Bill, is simply amazing. We thank you and all the incredible animals whose lives you saved for your remarkable contributions and the heart you brought to every production. Have fun tonight. Congratulations. Mwah.
Hey, Billy, it's Andrea. I'm standing in front of my house. It's 5:30 in the morning, and my heart is broken that I can't be there this evening. You know how proud I am of you, and congratulations. It's so well deserved. And I hear my Uber. Call me tomorrow. It's only a day away. I love you.
Billy! Oh my God, how great was that? Okay, so before we present Bill with his award, we'd like to do a song with one of the stars legally. Oh, Rufus? Huh, gender bending. All right, well, anywho, please welcome to the stage the great Kate Rockwell. Hi, Kate. Kate was one of the stars of Mean Girls, but she's a nice girl. I don't know what microphone to use. Hold on, they're going to give it to you. It's on this side, dear. Yeah, exactly. Old school.
I'll never speak again.
Exactly. You blew it out.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be here. I want to say one thing. No one told me I was allowed to talk, but I have the microphone now. So, hi, everybody over here. I'm sorry I'm aiming all my energy over here. I made my Broadway debut in Legally Blonde. I became the third Margot and Elle understudy. And my very first real rehearsal was not the show, but it was with Bill Berloni and Chico. And I was 23 years old. And I was so excited to be there. And this man scared the living shit out of me because he was so passionate about taking care of those animals, but for me, it was Chico, making sure he was cared for by this silly little 23-year-old girl who was just pumped to be doing a Broadway show. And it has now evolved into, and I can say this, I'm right, 17-year friendship, which is a wild number. He got me my first little dog, who I'm going to cry because I'm excited to be here, just passed a year ago. But that space where he kept his animals, where they had their own little dressing room, they had a whole floor just for them, was my favorite place to go in the theater until the day we closed. And that was because of him and the environment he creates and those awesome dogs that we had too. So that's my favorite little Bill Berloni story, that he scared the crap out of me, but then created the safest haven in that whole Palace Theater for us. I'm so honored to be here tonight to honor him and his work.
Before Kate sings, just so you know, I texted Kate and I said, can you do this honoring Bill Berloni? She's like, oh my God, I really want to. I told her the date. And
So this is my all-time favorite song. Always makes me think of you. Always makes me think of my little dog. I promise I won't cry when I'm singing it. A friendly face, the kind of face that melts you with a grin. The kind of eyes that welcome you the minute you walk in. A tender glance you simply can't refuse. At times like this, a girl could use a dog. He listens when you tell him things. There's nothing you can't say. And unlike certain people, you can teach him how to stay. And if the world is giving you the blues, he cheers you up by chewing up the news. It's things like that that make you choose a dog. Other people need romance, dancing, playing around. Other people need constant fun. Well, I'm not one. I have my feet on the ground. Give me a quiet night, a stack of books, a tuna melts on rye, a simple walk together underneath a starry sky, and suddenly the night is something rare, and all because there's someone special there who's gazing at the views. I fail. His head upon your shoes. At times like this, I sure could use a dog. I thought I had it. I failed.
bravo, Kate Rockwell. She'll be back on our full show soon. Look at that. He doesn't scare her anymore, just a little. We all love Bill. Okay, so we're coming to the award part. Please welcome to the stage Donna Lynn. Come on back. This is it.
Seth told a version of the story, and I'm going to tell a version of the story, and then Bill, you can tell us the truth. Okay. So Bill began his career, as we've heard tonight, as an intern at Goodspeed in the summer of 1976. When 75, oh, but this happened in 76. Yes, okay, thank you. I should have put this in front of you. Okay. So in the summer of 1976, when the creative team and Michael Price decided to include a dog in that production, seems really simple today, but at the time it had to have been mind-boggling to everyone involved. Michael called Bill into the office and offered him his equity card to find and train a dog to play Sandy. Most of us here know the story, some version of the story. Bill began his search, not understanding the conditions under which homeless, neglected, abused animals were maintained at that time. He searched shelters across the region for a dog to play Sandy. And as he did so, he was horrified by the conditions that he found animals living in. At the Connecticut Humane Society in Newington, am I still right? Okay. He met a medium-sized, sandy-colored dog. I'm not going to make any promises about not crying. Quiet and shy, but responsive to Bill immediately, who fit the role. Bill didn't have the, I have $7 adoption fee, and the dog was scheduled to be euthanized within hours. I'm so sorry I have my back to you. Bill asked if the dog could be kept alive until the next day when he would be able to get the money from Goodspeed or his friends or whomever and come back to the shelter. And the answer was no. Think about that. So Bill rushed back to East Haddam, pulled together the money, got back to the shelter in time to rescue the dog, who would eventually become the first animal to play a major role on Broadway and perform that role for 7 years. From that moment in the summer of 1976, Bill built an award-winning career training animals for film, television, and theater. He's trained animals for hundreds of projects, which include blockbuster films, network television, Broadway hits, and even a Super Bowl commercial. His most recent film project, The Friend, is in theaters now, and I have not been able to see it yet, but I'm hearing wonderful things about it. Bill is renowned for revolutionizing the humane and ethical treatment of rescue animals in entertainment. But I believe that the story of Bill Berloni and Sandy also revolutionized the way the world sees animals. I really believe this. When I was growing up in the 1960s and 1970s, unwanted strays were a common sight. If a stray animal got lucky, a kind-hearted soul might put some food out for them. If they got really lucky, they might be welcomed into a family. But it didn't happen a lot. But the adoption of rescue animals and advocacy for them was not a common occurrence the way it is in our lives today. Today, we recognize that homeless and neglected animals are worthy of our care and our love. And I really believe that Bill and Sandy, through their work on Annie, began that revolution. For that reason, I'm very proud, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, staff, and the entire Goodspeed community, to present the Goodspeed Musicals Award for outstanding contribution to musical theater, and I believe to the world, to Bill Berloni. So, you got it. So, Bill, at this point in our gala, other honorees would be presented with a very nice ceramic tile. But can I ask, it's very nice, but I'm going to ask everybody to please direct your attention to the video monitors for a very special presentation.
Voila! Hello, Bill. congratulations. I love you. I wish I could be there with you tonight, but no, I have to stay here and take care of the dog. I promise tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. in my little shorty pajamas, I'll walk the dog.
So that statue is a duplicate, a replica of a statue that Bill and Dorothy had made a number of years ago. It is Sandy. It is life-size, made to Sandy's dimensions, and it will live in perpetuity on the piazza of the Goodspeed Opera House. This is for you to take home. This plaque reads Sandy by Peggy Kaufman, the artist who created the statue. Original Sandy in the world premiere of Annie at the Goodspeed in 1976, placed in honor of William Bill Berloni, who began his career by rescuing and training Sandy. It's heavy. Here, she wants her picture.
Okay. For those of you who don't know me, I often get emotional, so I've come prepared for tonight. Honor. I feel like Jimmy Stewart at the end of It's a Wonderful Life, where he realizes how his life has affected others and all the riches he really has. It means the world to me to have been able to return home where it all started. But I want to talk about the real reason we are here. It's the Goodspeed. We are here tonight because of the Goodspeed, dedicated to preserving and creating the American musical theater. It started as a small summer stock theater and now is an international arts institution. Theater today is needed more than it ever has been before. It's a place where audiences and artists get together and share ideas and stories. Goodspeed has always been unique because it's feeling of family. We know that we have the family we were born with and the family we choose. And we always refer to it here as the Goodspeed family. It's a geographically isolated small artist town. It provides a safe haven for artists to dream big, where starry-eyed young artists can come and work with the theater's best to learn. We get to create stories here at the Goodspeed. Stories like an old man who has an impossible dream, about a father during the Civil War who had to choose between his sons or sending them to war, or stories like a little 11-year-old girl who changes the world with her optimism. And then there are stories of the artists who actually come here. Stories of a lowly apprentice who dreams of winning a Tony honor, and the lives that we've changed. But dreams like this only happen with the support of a theater family. And here at the Goodspeed, the family lives on both sides of the footlights. You, the audience, the supporters, are there for us. I've traveled all over North America and worked in hundreds of theaters, and there's no place like the support here at the Goodspeed Opera House. So tonight, this honor is not about me. It's about you. It's about everybody in this room. People who support us in the audience, and all the staff who makes the magic happen. We are all part of this great, big, beautiful Goodspeed family. When I came here as a 19-year-old apprentice in 1975, it was the first time that I left home on my own. This theater became my new family. It shaped the theater person who I would become. And from there on, the theater became my life. It gave me the love of my life, my wife, Dorothy. I was out of town. I'd been asked to go out of town for a new play, and there was a woman there who was training a bird, and they asked me to come and train a dog and ask if she could take care of the dog because they couldn't afford one of my trainers. And I met the person who had the same love of the theater and the love of animals as I had. I found the one that I truly needed. And I remember Michael Price saying to me when he met Dorothy, Billy, stick with her. She'll make you a star. And together for the last 25 years, we've done some pretty amazing things. And one of the highlights was her as the originating producer of her musical Because of Winn-Dixie, which came to the Opera House in the summer of 2019. And it provided me with quite a circle to come back with that show. And another theater the blessing gave me is my daughter, Jenna. She came along in between the Madison Square Garden production of The Wizard of Oz and the 20th anniversary revival of Annie. She's here tonight, and a week from tomorrow, she's going to be married. She's here with her fiance, Josh McNiven, and I was surprised to find out that he had never seen a play. But he is now a convert and has been to 3 Broadway openings and goes to Goodspeed regularly, voluntarily. So we've converted him. We've converted him. Art changes lives. I can't imagine how many artists and audiences and animals' lives that have been changed by the Goodspeed family. So as we take part in celebrating, let's reconfirm to protect, support, and cherish being part of this Goodspeed family. And I'm going to go off script a little bit here. Goodspeed has suffered 2 losses in the last 10 days. One, our beloved Charles Strauss, dear friend and great composer, and the loss of a $60,000 NEA grant, which was supposed to help one of the shows. I'm hoping that we can get together tonight and help make up that deficit, because families take care of each other. We on our side of the footlights do more with less, but we need help from our supporters and people. So please, if we could figure out a way to make up that deficit, because taking care of each other is what families do. Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Oliver Warbucks, and I'm the richest man in the world. And I can tell you a thing or two about survival, particularly about the gutsy optimism of a little red-headed friend of mine and her streetwise canine companion.
That's Nathan. Well, I'm not gonna let them give me or you. And don't worry, I'll take care of you. And everything's gonna be fine, boy. For the both of us.
And everything was fine. For over 6 decades, Goodspeed Musicals has been where musical theater and its makers find their voice, where vision and inspiration become reality, where the extraordinary is born before it becomes legendary. Bringing a brand new musical to life is one of the riskiest things a theater can do. Goodspeed chooses to take that leap again and again, and that's what makes us a leader in new work development.
It's been a love fest here at Goodspeed, and I mean that in the most collaborative, artistic way. There's something about the physical place, whether it's here on campus by the Opera House and by the housing that's here. I always say that, there's a river that runs very close. And during the writing sessions at the Writers' Grove, you can feel the energy, and it's real. And there is an intention here to do good work and to do your work seriously, but not take yourself seriously. And for that, and in that environment, I think wonderful things can happen.
Season after season, Goodspeed is more than a stage. It's a launchpad for stories that reflect who we are and who we're becoming. From bold reimaginings of classics to brand new works, we're pushing the boundaries of what musical theater can be.
I really feel that from the first time I saw the poster that Goodspeed had created for our show, I was like, this is an organization that actually is teaching me about my own show just through doing what they do really well. And that was a huge gift. And the gifts just haven't stopped coming. I've tried to say it every day, how grateful I am. And I've tried it, and I've definitely meant it every time I've said it.
We understand that risk is the cost of innovation. Without daring to fail, there's no chance to discover something truly unforgettable. We don't just produce musicals, we shape the future of the art form. Broadway begins here. Artists find their voice here. Artisans learn their craft here. But none of that happens without you. Raise the future of musical theater.
Okay. So I think Bill said it much more eloquently than I ever will. But we're here tonight to ensure that Goodspeed remains strong and our legacy of creating new work continues, that we continue to be able to risk and to support each new work in its own unique way, whether it be an animal, as with Annie and Because of Winn-Dixie, supporting the deaf and hard of hearing community of artists in development and production of a new work, as with Private Jones, or training and preparing our staff to welcome a community of artists we may not have previously supported, as we did with the gender diverse creative team and cast of A Complicated Woman that you saw there. Every new work has unique needs. In a moment, Pat is going to ask you to raise your paddle to support our combined commitment to developing new work, to taking that risk, and I thank you in advance, generous as you can be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Donna Lynn. And yes, remember, when you put your paddle up, you can pay with your donor-advised fund. You can pay with stock. We'll convert that. You can pay with your foundation. Will we take the Bitcoin? I don't know. Maybe. Not just yet. You can give it to me. I'll figure out something to do with it. But, folks, do this in honor of Bill. Do this in honor of Dorothy. Do this in honor of a life spent dedicating to this incredible art. And we've got a big goal. here tonight. I think we just added to it. So who's with me right now to step up and put that paddle high in the air for the development of our new works and so many great things at this fabulous theater for a gift of $25,000 to start us off. Ladies and gentlemen, paddle 186. Ann Rothstein and Jane Hellman. Love you. Thank you. 186. There we go. 25. Hey.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to take it off the auctioneer for a minute because Seth is going to come back. Bill Berloni's speech was amazing. I can take off my broken glasses, right? It was amazing. I did not know about that, the $60,000 NEA grant cut, because I know probably most of you who are watching are our Sith Core fam. One of the shows that I'm working on, and one of the reasons that Seth and I wanted to go back to doing this show weekly, is just for that reason. In addition to giving people around the country this inside, which I think is really cool. Having grown up in Texas, like I would have loved to have seen, like, my God, to see like the man who trained Sandy, and hearing that story and being able to get that inside scoop would have been amazing. So we're going to continue doing that, but definitely the cuts are affecting that are happening now. Are hurting a lot of theaters, and it is one of the reasons we wanted to bring Stars in the House back weekly. So actually, I was reading this article, and they talked about Creative Coalition. It was actually an op-ed piece written by someone at Creative Coalition. I decided to look them up, and because there's Americans for the Arts, and we worked with before, and then Creative Coalition, and I looked up to see who the president is, or who just people, if I knew anyone on it. And turns out the president is literally Tim Daly, the actor Tim Daly, who has not been on Stars in the House, but his sister Tyne Daly has been on. And we're friends with Steven Weber, whom he co-starred with on Wings. And Steven Weber gave me Tim's email, and I've been emailing with Tim and hoping that we can get a show. And I just wrote him after hearing Bill's amazing, emotional, beautiful speech. And I said, this is what Bill Berloni just said. Can we get a show soon? So I have a feeling I can see Seth moved. I think Seth may be with Christine. Hi.
Can you guys hear each other? Here you go.
Can you hear me, James?
I can totally hear you.
This
You
is
look
such
beautiful.
an amazing night. Thank you. Clarence is here. Hold on.
Clarence.
Here he is. And Clarence is, you know, my gift, the gift that changed my life from Dorothy and Bill. And it's been quite a night, let me tell you.
Christine, Bill's speech just now, it was so beautiful. I can't imagine being there in person, how emotional it must be, and beautiful.
Well, you know, Bill has a box of Kleenex at the table.
Does he really?
Well, yeah. I happened to be in the dressing area. I said, is there any Kleenex? And they said, well, we don't have any, but we know Bill has it at the table. And I thought, oh, is he having allergies? And then I went, wait a minute, no. And she said, you know he's a crier. And I went, I know he's a crier. And he, oh, yeah, because God bless him. Well, he's an emotional, incredibly empathetic. He's an empath. And, you know, he and Clarence, are you being camera shy? He and Dorothy changed my life, and gave me a day filled with so many I love yous and thank yous.
Yeah.
I have said I love you and thank you more times in an hour than I think I did in my entire life, just because of this dog.
That's
I mean,
beautiful.
yeah, and this event is amazing, and you know, it talks about a lot of things. It speaks to the wonderful work of the Goodspeed Opera House, but also, you know, I mean, really at its core, it's just how we have to treat the animals, and just don't know what we're missing.
Well, you know, Christine, we're going to show your song was taped, so we're going to show that in a second. But one of the things that struck me that I never thought of before, which makes total sense, and I want to know your thoughts on it, is the whole idea of, because I grew up in the 70s, dogs really were throwaway like just things. The idea was just like everything, every place was a kill shelter, except for maybe the occasional humane society. And I had never thought about it before that
with a beautiful
really did make a difference having Annie and seeing this rescue dog Sandy all over the country, and what a big difference it made.
You know what else I think made a big difference? This may seem silly, but pooper scooper laws. Think about it. We used to step in Seth, you remember? Oh my
Right.
God, you stepped in dog do. Oh, you stepped in dog do.
Very 70s.
And that very 70s and pre 70s. And there was just something about respecting. I never really thought of it until I had this flashback and tried to explain to my nieces and nephews there used to be dog poop everywhere.
Yeah. Mad Magazine was always doing bits on it.
Yeah. And so we kind of realized, no, you take care of them and you treat them. In a way, it's treating the dog with respect, not just the humans,
For sure.
The human world they're pooping in. We're saying, respect, dog, just
babies.
We're all sharing the world. We're sharing the world, and you're important, and we're important, and we're equal.
There he
know?
is.
Yes. Hey, Seth, what I was just saying to Christine was I had never thought about the whole idea of us growing up in the 70s of dogs, being like, oh, they get a day or two and being basically throwaway items. And I had never really thought that Sandy in the musical Annie humanized, for lack of a better word, dogs. And that they weren't throwaways, and that they could fill you with love and give you hope. And I really do. I've never thought about that musical and the work that Bill did, and finding it really created a revolution, or at least contributed to it.
Yeah.
We look at dogs; it gives me chills.
And Tom Meehan and Martin Charnin, and Charles Strauss for writing it.
Yeah, and you know what? And spending the money and taking the chance and even having the dog. They could have done it without the dog. They
Right,
could have
exactly.
found a gimmick to get around
Yes,
it.
of course.
And that was a big ask and
big risk.
And they did it, and it just opened up this entire world. And it opened a portal for Bill and Dorothy to step in, to talk about the right place at the right time. And it's just so moving. When I tell you that I say thank you so many times a day when I look into my dog's eyes, but I really also mean that when I say it, I really send it out to Dorothy and Bill. I mean it sincerely. And I hope in some way that energy, we're talking about telekinetic things, and how, when you can really think of somebody strongly, that sometimes they can feel it. Well, I'm here to tell you, I send it out to them, and I hope on some level it reaches them, because I mean it sincerely. And I think in his own little language, the first approximately 7 years of his life, I don't know where he was or where he lived, but it was in Memphis, Tennessee somewhere. And now he's a 57th Street cosmopolitan dog who's been on stage. He was in a grass skirt in a show that I did. He has sat in the wings. He sat and watched performances. He is a Broadway dog. And who would have thought this life he had in Memphis, Tennessee was going to pivot and turn into this, when if it was the 1970s, God knows if he'd still be here.
Yeah.
Because he was a stray.
Yeah.
When they found him, Dorothy said he was not a good-looking dog when they found him. He was really mangy, Can you imagine?
By the way, the story with the statue Bill got, Dorothy told us that Bill always had a dream that he would put Sandy's ashes in a bronze statue of Sandy. And then after Bill's mother passed, she left a little bit of money, and it was just enough to get a bronze statue made, and that's where his ashes are right now. So then, as a tribute to Sandy, they built the other bronze statue, a replica, and I just took a picture of it.
Aww.
Where is it? It's a banner. Is it a banner? I just took the picture, Jimmy.
I can
media asset. Oh, there it is.
Got it?
No, not that's it. This.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
They just presented him with that, so that's going to live in front of the Goodspeed Opera House from now on.
Oh, that's
Andrew
amazing.
McArdle is going to absolutely
Anna McArdle's going to flip out.
She's going to
She will flip out.
And she, of course, by the way, talk about a portal opening. There is no greater agent of love and greater. There's a word for it I'm looking for, but she's the perfect Annie because she is Annie.
Yeah.
She's
scrappy.
She's scrappy. She's tough as nails on the outside, and she's got a chewy, warm, delicious center, and a heart of gold. And when she sees kindness, boy, she spots it and she calls it out, and she gives credit where credit is due, and she loves it. And she said to me when we did the musical together, and I was thinking of getting a dog, Bill Berloni, gotta go to Bill Berloni.
Yeah, everyone has to go to
Bill
him.
Berloni. And I thought, I don't want to bother Bill Berloni, and I don't know, and he's so fancy, and sure enough, I went to Bill Berloni, and it took a year, but they looked, and they really were looking, and I just thought, I was on the back burner, and they'd forget. A year later, they found the perfect dog for me. And anyway, Andrea is just going to love this tribute to Bill, and she's going to love this wonderful tribute to the Goodspeed Opera House by way of sweet little Sandy.
Where her career began. Hey, we're going to go in around 2 minutes. So James, drop us. I'm going to bring Christine back. Okay.
Should I put on the video real quick?
Well, you can talk for a little bit because we're not back yet, but you'll see us when we come back.
No, but so
don't. Christine's video. Put on her singing. This is the song that Christine opened the whole show with.
By the way, this is in the round, so my back is to the camera sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, and then I'm going to cut to the live stream. Okay, bye.
He said this is what Sandy sang to Bill when Sandy was in the pound. This is the song Sandy sang. Here we go. Bye. Okay, so Bill walked in. Sandy took a look and said,
"I'm just a Broadway baby, walking off my tired feet, Second Street to be in a show. Broadway baby."
Round of applause. What a night. Bill,
Sing and dance, waiting for my one big chance to be in a show. Gee, I'd like to be on some marquee, all twinkling lights, a spark to pierce the dark from Battery Park to Washington Heights. Someday maybe all my dreams will be repaid. Hey, I'd even play the maid to be in a show. Hey, Mr. Producer, I'm talking to you, sir. I don't need a lot, only what I got, plus a tube of grease paint and a follow spot. I'm just a Broadway baby, making rounds all afternoon, eating at a greasy spoon to save on my dough. Broadway baby, slaving at the 5 and 10, waiting for the great day when I'll be in a show. At my tiny flat, there's just Clarence, a bed and a chair. Still, I'll stick it till I'm on a bill all over Times Square. Someday maybe, if I stick it long enough, I may get to strut my stuff, working for a nice man like a Ziegfeld or a Weissman in a great big Broadway show.
Christine Petty, and the rest is dogstery. We'll be back.
And our celebrity picker. You guys did so great before. Can we get a little drum roll again going on the tables? The bride-to-be, Jenna.
055.
055. Is it here?
Okay, it's still going on. There were two donations that I wanted to read while we're waiting for Seth to come back. Congratulations, Bill Berloni. I love this. In 1978, as a 9-year-old from Newington, I was lucky enough to be with a small group from Connecticut to meet and have dinner with Bill and the original Sandy after a performance of Annie with Shelley Bruce and a young orphan and future Annie named Sarah Jessica Parker. It is a beautiful core memory for me. Congratulations. Thank you, Lee. That's beautiful. Here's Seattle Susie Q. Hi, Seattle Susie Q. I was just on my way out to see Forbidden Broadway, and I heard it mentioned that the NEA cut their funding, and I had to stop and donate. I know. It isn't much, but if a lot of us donate a little, we can make an impression. I agree. Good luck to the Goodspeed Opera House, and thanks to Seth, James, and Christine for organizing this. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, I want us to do it right for this show that we'll have coming up. I'm gonna guess in June, but just while we're waiting, let me make sure. Hold on,
They're saying yes. Mom,
Can you see me if I'm over here? Oh wait, I can see everybody.
It's actually the whole.
Years ago.
Brava.
She's a Chihuahua mix, and I have a cat too, and she kind of hates the cat, but you know, can't get everything you want in life. But she's a great little dog, not a watchdog though. She's a people dog. She'll say somebody, just come on in.
Right this way.
The turquoise is over there. The gold is here. Yeah, she's great. She's great. I got through the pandemic because of my animals. So
Yeah, we all need it, man. Well, she adopted it from the Humane Society of Chicago. And speaking of Chicago, this is the show Lily starred in on Broadway. Oh, I always forget. How do I do this again? How do I turn this on? I'm so not electric. No, it's over here. Hold on.
Kick it. Who said that?
Okay.
You got it?
As I was saying, she starred in Chicago on Broadway, and she is. Oh, I have to turn it on, turn it off. Okay. Okay. Actually, well, while it's warming up, I'll give you one story about Annie. Freddie Gershon, who runs MTI, told me that a school in the South rented Annie, and then they sent back the materials 1 week later.
Oh.
And Freddie said, "Why did you send it back?" And the head of the school in the South said, "This musical is satanic." And Freddie said, "What's satanic about it?" And he said, "The script mentions Hell's Kitchen." And Freddie said, "Hell's Kitchen is a neighborhood in New York City." And he said, "I rest my case." Click.
Oh my God.
True story, Freddie Gershon. As I was saying, hold on. It's still not on, which is fun. Hold on. I would wish I knew how electric pianos work, but I don't. Anybody?
We need
Hold on.
help. We need professional help over here.
Okay, I'll give you one more story. Ragtime right now is playing.
Where?
At Goodspeed Opera House. Oh, well, I got the piano, so forget that story. All right, Lilius White from Chicago. This is what Lilius sings to her dog.
Ask any of the chickies in my pen. They'll tell you I'm the biggest mother hen.
Keep it clean.
I love them all, and all of them love me. Because the system works, the system called reciprocity. Got a little motto, always sees me through. When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. There's a lot of faith favors I'm prepared to do. You do one for mama, she'll do one for you. They say that life is tit for tat, and that's the way I live. So I deserve a lot of tact, what I've got to give. Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to you. If you want my gravy, pepper my ragu, spice it up for mama, she'll get hot for you. When they pass that basket, folks contribute too. You put in for mama, she'll put out for you. The folks atop the ladder are the ones the world adores. So boost me up my ladder, kid. Now boost you up yours. Let's all stroke together like the Princeton crew. When you're stroking mama, mama's stroking you. So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good, when you're very, 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 very good, when you're good, 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 to mama, mama's good to
Liz,
Thank you.
make sure you're good to her. She'll be back. Yeah, leave and then come back. Be careful walking off the stage. Okay, I'm going to welcome back to the stage Kate Rockwell. Kate Rockwell is going to recreate a song from Annie. Now, if you don't know, this is the show that we all wanted to be in back in the 70s. And I went to go see Annie on Broadway, and I was dying to be in it. But I was like, there are no boys in Annie. But in the song NYC, there were two newsboys. And I was like, oh, my God, there are boys in Annie. I can finally be in the show. And then realized it was two girl orphans dressed up as boys. I was devastated about the 10-year-old drag kings. Anywho, still traumatized, not cool. Okay, so Kate Rockwell, if you will, please recreate the song that Annie sings at the very, very beginning of the show.
Yes, and if you can imagine me about 36 years younger than I am, that would be great.
And everyone has to sing the last two notes. Hopefully you'll know what it is. So at the beginning of the show, all the orphans are very depressed and they're scared and they miss their parents. And Molly crawls into Annie's lap and Annie sings this song.
Maybe far away, or maybe real nearby. He's sitting pouring her coffee. She's maybe straightening his tie. Maybe in a house all hidden by a hill. She's sitting playing piano. He's sitting paying a bill. Betcha they're young. Betcha they're smart. Bet they collect things like ashtrays and art. Betcha they're good. Why wouldn't they be? Their one mistake was giving up me. So maybe now it's time, or maybe when I wake, they'll be here calling me baby.
Does this bring back memories, Bill? So all the orphans say goodnight to each other. Good night, Molly. Good night, Annie. Good night, Tessie.
Good night, John Boy. Oh, that's me. You're doing such a beautiful job.
Thank you, honey.
Betcha he reads, betcha she sews. Maybe she's made me a closet of clothes. Maybe they're strict or straight as a lie. Don't really care as long as they're mine. So maybe now this prayer's the last one of its kind. Won't you please come get your baby?
All the orphans. Here we go. Brava, Kate, and brava, orphans. Lily Swai, come back to the stage, please. By the way, are you coming back to the stage? Okay, I just want to make sure you're coming back. Do you know, speaking of the Littlest Orphan, do you know who played the Littlest Orphan in London? Andrew McCardle went to London to go play Annie, and the little tiny orphan was, anybody? Catherine Zeta-Jones. She was the British Molly. She was like, Santa Claus, we never see. Anyway, yeah, she was the littlest girl back in the day. Okay, so kids, I know that a lot of people out here are performers, so Lily's going to sing a song, and we all need everybody to do some backup. And your only lyric is, ah-ooh. It's just ah-ooh.
Looking out on the morning rain.
5, 6, go. Ah-ooh.
I used to feel so uninspired.
Here we go. No.
And when I knew I had to face another day, Lord, it made me feel so tired. Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. You're the key to my peace of mind.
Everyone.
You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman.
Echo. Woman. Out.
When my soul was in the lost and found.
5, 6, go. No.
You came along to claim it.
Harmony, please. No. Thank you,
I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Here we go. No.
Till your kiss helped me name it. I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. And if I make you happy, I don't need to do more.
Everyone.
You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, baby, what you done for me?
What you done?
Yeah. You make me feel so good inside. And I wanna be close to you. You know you make me feel so alive. You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. You make me feel. You really, really make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. Oh, 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 yes.
Yes. Bravo, Lilius. She'll be back for one more.
Brava.
Clear for talent.
Okay, Kate Rockwell. I know. Kate Rockwell's coming back to the stage. Kate was in Legally Blonde on Broadway. So, Kate, before we do your song from Legally Blonde, what did you have to know to work with Bruiser? What did Bill Berloni teach you about Bruiser?
Well, number one thing is you take care of Bruiser, right? You
But
don't
how?
care,
Giving him extra
meaning
treats?
do not do anything else until you know where that dog is. You make sure he is safe. You make sure you make eye contact with him. He was such a professional that he really had no time for me making choices. He was like, this is how we do this. This is the timing. So if you don't do it my way, I will just skip your line and go. And he did. He was so good. So he would bark. Like, he was like, this is the pacing that we're doing this at. So keep up with me.
Did Chico have an understudy?
He did. He had 2 understudies, actually.
I love that all these dogs can get gigs and I cannot. Okay, here we go. We're going to go into, this is the song that you sang in Legally Blonde, the terrifying one. Are you ready for it, girl?
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that we're going to do this in the original key. So everyone, gird your loins.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody watched the Legally Blonde reality show, which I did, but this was like the song that all the women were having a breakdown about. So are you ready, Kate? How many years ago did you play this role?
It was 2008.
Okay, so you haven't done it for 17 years.
There you go.
I'll take it up a step.
My vocal cords say no thank you.
All of this time I planned I'd be patient and you could love me again. You'd come to respect my mind, and at last you'd find you could love me again. And I have turned my whole world upside down, trying not to let you go. Watching you walk away is like a fatal blow. What? Whoa! Is that my name up on that list? Does someone know that I exist? Is this a mistake? Am I even awake? Pinch me now to make sure. Ow. Yes! That is my name in black and white. Maybe I'm doing something right. Wow, I feel so much better than before. Oh, Warner, sorry I've been a pest, but I guess my best was not working with you. But it looks like I found a cure, and I so look forward to working with you. Hey, remember when we spent spring break in the hot tub every night? You said nothing else would ever feel so right. Well, this might. Seeing my name up on that list, that means the first time that we kissed. You thought I was dumb. Well, I think that somebody's judgment was poor. Seeing my name in black and white is like making love with you all night. No, wait, it feels so much better. Hello, much better. It's much better. I feel so much better than before. Here we go. Maybe she's what you prefer, but hey, last year I was her. Maybe you will change your mind, but you might look up to find I've gone on to better things, better jobs, and bigger rings. I don't have the time to cry. I'm too busy loving my name up on that list. Kind of a cool, ironic twist. Who else can I tell? Woo, wait, where's my cell? I will fall on the floor. Hey, Mom, look at my name in black and white. Your daughter's doing something right. I feel so much better. I'll be there on Monday, 9 o'clock. And then you will see who walks the walk. No, I can't wait. I will be there at 8 when they unlock the door. Oh, I'll even dress in black and white. See, I have not begun to fight. And you'll go, oh, much better. Hello, much better. And soon all y'all gonna know much better. I am so much better. I am so much better. I am so much better than before.
Holy cow. What the hell?
I'm gonna go pass out for 2 seconds. I'll be back.
Kate Rockwell. Okay, we have Lilius White doing her 11 o'clock number. Bill trained Toto for the Wiz movie around 2015. Lilius, when did you star in the Wiz as Dorothy, dear?
I starred in The Wiz in 1978, 79 on a bus and truck tour.
Oh my God.
Bus and truck tour. We had other names for it too, but I won't say that.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
What was the doggie like?
The dog was great when we remembered not to leave him at the hotel.
That's why Bill Berloni had to step in and treat the dog well.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Dorothy's 11 o'clock number, and this is what the doggies feel when they finally get adopted by Bill Berloni. Oh, no, I'm going to do this. Sorry. I remember now. No, this is it. I forgot.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. Wind that makes the tall grass bend into leaning. Suddenly the raindrops that fall, they have a meaning. Sprinkling the scene makes it all clean. Maybe I've found some direction. Sure would be nice to be back home where there's love and affection. And just maybe I can convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. Time, be my friend. Let me start again. Suddenly my world's gonna change its face, but I still know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, yet I've watched it growing. Oh, if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things that we see. Cause should we try to stay, or should we run away, or would it be better just to let things be? Living here in this brand new world might be a fantasy, but it's taught me to love. So it's real, real, real to me. And I've learned we must look inside our hearts to find a world full of love like yours, like mine, like Thank you. Seth Rudetsky.
Okay, for our final number, we have Christine Petty doing an extravaganza of women. So I'm going to bring Christine Petty to the stage. Hold on, get your music out. Hold, please. Oh, there it is. Hold on. The first Broadway show I ever played was this show. Does anyone recognize this vamp? Wait a minute. Karen Murphy, were you in Les Mis? Who did you play? But what was your track? Which prostitute? Prostitute number 26. Did you die of syphilis? We'll talk privately. All right, Christine Petty, are you ready for talking about Les Mis?
Yeah, so that vamp that you're hearing is very iconic, and a lot of us who grew up at a certain time as performers knew that it was this British invasion that was about to happen. We learned about Les Mis through the album, right? Anyway, so I wore it out. I wore out the LP, and eventually the show came to America, and everybody auditioned for it, including me. And that long run of Les Mis gave a lot of work to a lot of my friends, and I'm very happy for that. Anyway, I listened to it, the iconic performance in the London production of Patti LuPone. Yes, as soon as the trouble that comes my door. Page 75 of her. What's the matter with my dick tongue? Anyway. But I listened to that album and it was almost like rock and roll to me. The voice of Cole Wilkinson, who I just thought, to me, theater geek that I was, sounded like a rock star. I am born in Japan. I'm a strong man. There is power in the end. A race is not won. He's Canadian, but he's also Irish. He's playing a French. And yet he sounds suspiciously like Cher. And then I got to thinking, Cher, Les Mis, what would that be like? Look down, look down, look down, here until you die. Well,
Christine, what about Joan Rivers?
oh, children, at the end of the day, you're another day older. Can we talk? And that's all you can say for the life of the poor. It's a struggle, it's a war, and there's nothing that nobody's giving. All the day running around. What is it for? Oh, please. One day less to be living. Grow up.
How about Dame Julie Andrews?
Lovely ladies waiting in the park, ready for a quick one or a thick one in the dark. Long time, short time, anytime, my dear. Cost a little extra if you want to take all year. Quick and cheap is underneath the pier. Oh.
How about Bill Berloni's friend as Cosette, Miss Bernadette Peters?
There is a castle on a cloud. I like to go there when I sleep. Underneath floors for me to sweep. Not in my castle on a cloud.
And now, the cat woman herself, Miss Eartha Kitt as Javert.
Valjean, at last we see each other plain. Monsieur la Mère, you'll wear a different chain.
Keeping in that style of female Javert, how about Miss Liza Minnelli singing the song Stars? And don't forget, Liza, the first word is there.
There.
Okay.
Out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from grace.
haze, fallen from grace. God, be my witness. I never shall yield till we come face to face.
And now Liza's mother, Judy Garland, take it.
And so it has been, and so it is written on the doorway to paradise. Those who falter and those fall will pay the price.
And how about a Tony Award winner in the role of young, innocent Eponine?
On my own, pretending he's beside me, all alone, I walk with him till morning.
And the big death scene starring Fran Drescher.
Don't you fret, Monsieur Sheffield, I don't feel any pain. A little fall of rain could hardly hurt me now. You're here, that's all I need to know. And you will keep me safe, and you will keep me warm, and rain will make the flowers grow.
As Madame Thénardier, none other than Miss Elaine Stritch.
Master of the house isn't worth my spit. Comforter, philosopher, lifelong shit. Stunning little brain, regular Voltaire. Thinks he's quite a lover, but there's not much there. Everybody raise a glass, rise! Raising up the master's ass, rise! Don't know how I lasted living with that bastard in the house.
And now, Dame Angela Lansbury.
Do you hear the people sing? It is the song of angry men. It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of our drums echoes the beating of our hearts, it is a life about to start when tomorrow comes.
Ethel!
Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is not far away. Tomorrow we'll discover what our God in heaven has in store.
Take it away, Miss Merman.
One more dawn. One more day. One day more. All I ask is one day more.
Swell! Christine Petty as every diva in the book. Brava! Thank you all. Congratulations, Bill Berloni. Thank you, Lilias White and Kate Rockwell. Brava!
Thank you. I swear I'm not going to ask for money. I really won't. You're all running for the exits. You're like, he's back for more. No. Just want to. How about for our host tonight, Seth Rudetsky? Let's hear it.
There you go. There's one final video. I just don't know if there's something before the final video. Is there anything before the final video, or is this the video time?
Is there a video?
There's a final video for Bill Berloni.
Oh, all right.
If this is it. And also, where's my little friend, by the way? Where's the latest little Annie who's supposed to come up and say hello? Okay. So, well, shouldn't I introduce her now? Here, little Annie. Not only is she little Annie, but she has a little Sandy with her. Please come to the stage. Look at this baby. Look at this baby. Hi, honey. Tell everybody what your name is.
My name is Avery Hope.
And what's Sandy's you, and Amber's going to join in at the end. So if will everyone please watch the screen and be brought back to 1976.
Billy Berloni, my heart is broken that I can't be there with you this evening. But I'm going to say one thing. Out of all the relationships I've ever had, and you bet I'm going to get emotional, I think the most profound, special relationship I've ever had in my life was Billy and Sandy and Andrea. And the magic we made together and the life that you created makes me so proud of you. The memories I have just makes you want to go back. Makes you want to go back to the time in 77 when we were all so young and hopeful. And I thought it might be nice to start my tribute to you, my favorite part of the show, of Annie. Here goes. Poor boy. Did they hurt you? They're after you, ain't they? Well, they're after me too. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be fine, boy. If not today, well, the sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. I'm just thinking about tomorrow. Clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun'll come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick out my chin and grin and say, oh, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're always a day away. Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, always a day.
Love you, Bill.
Worst training of my life.